Hello, boyos.
Hello, boyos.
This is the Lone Game Cast, where we discuss that everything is video games. This week, there's like a couple of things that happened, such as like the Sony State of Play that happened over the week, the Pokemon Presents event that happened, news on Anthem, news on Gran Turismo rather, news about a VR going on, there's news about Sony closing down something, Dragon Age, and Twisted Metal. But it's a short week. There's really nothing in this week, and this probably will only be like a 10-minute video. So we will start with what you've been playing. What you've been playing, Jake?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say my name is Jake. That is Nick.
That's right.
How you doing, Nick?
You know what? I'm doing okay.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
That's it. I'm okay.
Yeah. I've been playing. I actually went out of my way, and I got Persona 5 Strikers.
I already knew that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! But the ether out there does not. So
yeah, I bought Persona 5 Strikers. I can't talk. I've got things in my mouth. It sucks. But anyway, Persona 5 Strikers.
Lots of dicks.
I've got
dicks in his mouth.
Dicks all up inside of my teeth and stuff. But Persona 5 Strikers, I didn't expect too much from it, because all I heard was it's like Hyrule Warriors, and, I've never really been into those, Dynasty Warrior type games, but I'm like, you know what, Persona 5, it's my jam. So I picked it up, and it's pretty good. There's a lot of story. I literally spent like 3 hours before you do like any real combat.
Oh man!
And get into like the first, like in Persona 5, they're called palaces. In this game, they're called jails. So I'm finally like exploring the first jail, and I think there's like 6 or 7 of them.
Okay. So what kind of art style are we talking about? Like with these cutscenes, is it like Persona 5 or is it like a whole new thing?
The cutscenes are just like Persona 5. They even have like some of the anime cutscenes. It looks a little cheaper for sure because it probably is. But honestly, the game has a lot more like systems than I was anticipating. I was expecting to just like button mash a lot, but you can actually like stop time and like summon different personas and like use different persona abilities, and it's sort of like a Final Fantasy VII where you can like switch to your different party members and fight as your different party members as well. And they added a new character, which is like a 13-year-old looking AI, but it's okay because she's an AI, so they can make her sexy even though she looks like she's 13. Yeah, it's very comfortable.
But she's AI?
Yeah, she's an AI. So she like, when you kind of how like Morgana is like a cat, when you leave the like jail,
the jail,
the metaverse, she's just like an Alexa on your phone, and she like talks to you that way. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So instead of a cat, she's like an app on your phone. Cool. You can talk to her like that. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I need to play more of it. I'm only like 5 hours in.
Does the story kick off right after the events of Persona 5, or is it just not even really connected?
So it's the summer following that year. So everyone's a year older. Like Makoto and stuff is like now in college and stuff. Like so, like a few of them are in college. So she's not there. She's still in your party. Like she came. So like the idea is like now it's summer and you guys are going on a road trip.
That's cool.
As like friends, yeah. But along the way, you've got to take on bad guys.
I kind of dig that.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's definitely not like as well thought out as Persona 5. They got rid of like the confidant system. But your different characters just like level up from fighting like a normal RPG. But yeah, it's fun. It's fine. It's nothing to like write home about. I'd give it like a 7 so far, but I obviously haven't played that much of it yet. So, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing other things, but the only thing I played that's different is the demo for Triangle Tactics.
Is it Triangle Tactics or Triangle Strategy?
It's Triangle Strategy. It's Triangle Strategy. You're right. I played the demo for Triangle Strategy. The name's gonna change. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, but that's what we thought when they were like, it's Project Octopath Traveler, and then they never changed the name.
And then they never changed it. Yeah,
it's just Octopath Traveler. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, I wrote Tactics. Triangle Strategy. There's a demo out on your Switch. It's the art style of Octopath Traveler, and the gameplay is Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem. That's the game. Pretty much to a T. Yeah. There are a couple of things where like you set somebody on fire and then throw oil at them, they'll take more damage, or they'll be on fire for longer. Or, if you stand in a certain place, you can do a spell and it like leaves something on the ground and it can hinder the enemy in some way. So it's kind of like a better version of Fire Emblem. Like Fire Emblem's just like you move these guys around and then they fight and that's it. Whereas this one's just like these guys are fighting, but also it's kind of like D&D where spells actually stay on the ground or like push people away, or it's very tactical, which is why I called it Tactics.
Well, in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, it's very much that too. Seems really cool. I kind of skipped through the story because I don't really want to know about the story because it's like halfway through. And I'm like, I just kind of want to see what this game's about. I haven't gotten all the way through the demo.
I'm curious about the story, though.
I am too.
That was the problem with Octopath. Was like the story was just not very good.
It seems to be Fire Emblem from what I got from it. It's just like, there's 3 houses or 3 countries, and one of the countries broke the treaty and is now trying to pin it on another country, and people are dying, and you're like, my father will have his revenge, and you're just a knight, That's very much Fire Emblem. That is it's just royalty, and they're obviously the bad guys, and it's pretty clean cut for what you're expecting. Other than that, Rocket League, been playing
lots of Rocket League. Always
so much Rocket League. I think I'm level 100 in the battle pass now, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't think I'd get here, and we still have a month left. So yeah,
no, I didn't expect to like get that deep into Rocket League like we have been, but it's just like a fun game to be like, hey, you guys want to play Rocket League? Yeah,
it's like our fallback game, It's like what are we gonna play? We're gonna play. We got this. We got Rocket League. All right, let's do a couple rounds of Rocket League, and then
it's nice because you can like jump in with the boys, and like a match takes like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever, and then unlike where like if you hop into even like Apex, like a round is like 45 minutes.
Well, it can be unless you like hot drop and die immediately.
Yeah, of course, but that's not the goal.
Yeah, no, yeah, you want that match to go on for a while because that's where it kind of like gets involved, and you feel like you're progressing rather than hot dropping and then getting shot in the back of the head. But yeah, I don't even know if I want to do last week's question.
No, fuck it.
No, fuck it. We're not doing last week's question. Nobody answered the question. We won't tell you the answers. So fuck you.
Yeah. Eat my butt.
Eat Jake's butt. Yes. All of it. We'll go into events because I feel like that is the biggest chunk of the show, and we will start off with the PlayStation event. I gotta open up this thing that I have here, and it started off pretty shitty. I'm gonna say that started off pretty shitty. So they preface this state of play with like, oh, we're gonna re-up and show you stuff that we've shown you in the past and kind of expand on that a little bit more. And it's like, oh, cool, we might see Elden Ring, we might see God of War, we might see Horizon, we might see something else, something new, exciting. And then they open the show up with Crash Bandicoot is now going to be on the PlayStation 5. Cool.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool just in the fact that they were like, we'll actually be taking advantage of the haptic feedback and the triggers. And it's like, that's cool, I guess. But
did they need to announce it in a grandiose fashion? I feel like all of these things in the state of play could have just been separate trailers that they're like, here, just a trailer dump, It didn't have to be like, we have huge news for you guys.
Well, hold on. It's become like ever more apparent to me that, I would say like a couple years ago when they started doing the state of plays, it was like, we just want to have a platform to like announce some things. But now it's become ever more apparent to me that these things are not because Sony feels it's necessary. These things are definitely like the publishers or developers have paid Sony to put their games into a state of play because they know these things are going to get clicks. And these are marketing tools, and I understand that. But like, if you're gonna like tell people like, hey, we're doing a state of play, it's been over a year since we've done a state of play. You better have something. And they didn't have anything. Not a thing. I would have totally settled. Like, just think of it this way. Like if they replaced, and I know we haven't gotten to it yet, if they replaced the first trailer with some Ratchet and Clank like gameplay versus Crash Bandicoot, and they replaced the last thing with a date for God of War or Horizon, we would have
just a time frame.
Well, they just had a time. The thing is
this month.
The thing is like, I don't think it's out of question that we were expecting something from these games, considering that the last time you showed them, you said they're coming out in 2021. Right. And the other, like, and I think we would care less also if there were games for the PS5. But there's fucking nothing for the PS5 for the upcoming future. The closest thing we have is Returnal, which is like not like a huge game. And then after that we have Ratchet and Clank, which is until like July or something, June or July.
We're halfway through at that point,
Yeah, and it's just like, this is all you have is an update for Crash Bandicoot. Anyway, sorry, I just had to. God, it's so frustrating. Like, why even do this? Why
it
even
is frustrating.
Do this?
Anyway, the next game that they've showed quite a bit of times, and I'm already sold on it. Like, I'm going to get this game once reviews come out, because I've been burned so many times by buying games that I'm just kind of headlong into, and I'm like, this game looks good in the trailers, and then it's not. So I'm gonna wait for this one. They showed off more gameplay for Returnal. It's the same shit that we keep talking about. It's a roguelite bullet hell third person 3D roguelite game.
Action RPG romance like, hey, and visual novel.
And they're like, hey, we're going to focus on narrative. We're going to be focusing on the narrative a lot. So there's going to be more of a story than with, Resogun. And that's cool. Whatever. Moving on. One of the only games. Okay.
I will say they showed quite a bit of like gameplay for this, and I appreciate that. But like, doesn't it look like really dark to you?
It does look really dark.
This looks like really dark. Like they're covering up like the graphics with how dark it is. That's
the graphics look good. Like I'm looking at the screenshot, and it's like really it looks good.
Why is it so dark?
It's really dark. It might be because it's a bullet hell, and all of the little bullets are bright.
Maybe,
and it could just be a visual choice. Because if you brighten that up, and you can lose bullets, and it's like, fuck. Well, I'm just getting hit by shit I can't see. That could be part of the reason.
It's like darker than Hellblade, though, and that's a pretty dark game. Like, it just looks.
Well,
so
maybe they're just showing dark places. Like maybe there's just a level that they're really proud of, and they're like, look at this level. It's super dark. And then like another level's like, we're in a desert and it's bright.
I doubt that.
Then the next game that they showed, I'm actually really looking forward to. It's probably the biggest announce in this whole thing for me anyway, is the game called Sifu. Slow
Yeah,
Clap. The guys that made Absolver are making a new 3D fighting game. It looks really cool. It looks like a stylistic Daredevil movie where you play as like a monk who just grows old and beats people up. That was pretty much all the trailer showed. It didn't give us a release date. It said it was coming out I think the 2021. So probably honestly 2022.
Maybe. I really like the art style. Looks like, more artistic than like visually stunning, which I like. I like that.
Yeah.
When I saw the trailer, I immediately thought, "Oh, this is that hallway fight scene from Daredevil."
Yeah.
The game.
It's the game. Yeah. It is that. You use all the walls and shit to your advantage and slam people down on tables and whatnot. It's like, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah. It looked like that hallway fight scene from Daredevil. I'm pretty hyped on this game. It looks good.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays that way, and hopefully it gets better reception than Absolver, because I really liked Absolver. It's just nobody played it, and they didn't add anything to it. So
this game looks like a single player, eh?
Yeah.
So doesn't matter.
No, true, but I like Slow Clap. I like what they do. Then they showed off a game that they showed off. Nice little visual gag there. Then they showed off a game that Nintendo showed off like 3 days before, called Knockout City, and we talked about this on the last show. And it's a dodgeball. It's a 3D dodgeball game that kind of looks like it's copying Splatoon a little bit.
Yeah, so it has that same sort of art style as like Destruction All-Stars. I don't know. I have no interest in this game, like in the slightest.
No way. The game launches on PS4 on May 25th. Okay. Moving on. I was at work, so this is where I came in. I saw this trailer, and then I had to rewatch it for the other ones. Solar Ash. This is a game that they showed off last State of Play, which was like the end of last year, almost. Maybe like fall of last year. And they didn't really show anything off. They're just like, hey, we're the guys who did Hyper Light Drifter, and we're making another game. It's going to be called Solar Ash. That's it. Well, in this one, they kind of showed off like a couple of gameplay. You get to like skate around and jump on monsters and you fight monsters. It kind of looks like Shadow of the Colossus a little bit. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. I like the look of this game a lot. It's made by the Hyper Light Drifter dudes. Yeah, it looks pretty. I couldn't get into Hyper Light Drifter. It was like, I really liked the visual stylings of it, and I liked like the sort of like old school Zelda feel to it, but I felt like I was just running into walls. Not like literally, but like I just would get to
hit a wall.
I would get to a point, and it's like, you gotta figure this out, and it's like, I don't want to figure this out. I just want to play the game,
right?
But that's like part of the game, but it just wasn't for me,
Yeah.
So this one looks more like what's that new game that just came out recently? Actually, where you're like gliding through the ground and like shooting things, and you have like an eagle.
Oh yeah. It does look like that.
Yeah, it looks like that. It looks like Haven. Sort of like, it just looks like a game all about just like maintaining momentum. I'm into it. Yeah, I like it.
We'll have to see a little bit more, because they don't really dive too deep into it, which is really fucking disappointing. Because
they showed some gameplay. They did.
Some of it, but then it was such quick like flashes, just quick cuts, and it's like, okay, well, here's this monster, and then quick cut, and the monster's dead, and you're like, wait, what? How does this work?
Well, I think most of the game is going to be you just traversing through the terrain and stuff, and like keeping momentum. And then like, yeah, I feel like probably the combat is more of like an afterthought, but still probably going to be pretty enjoyable. I think this is going to be more of like an experience than it is a like really, really fun game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I can see that. Yeah, I get you.
Like a Journey type thing.
Like, yeah, but more involved.
More gameplay than Journey.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All right. And then the next one was Friday. Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. This says gameplay reveal. They did not show a lick of gameplay in this trailer. They just expanded on the story. That's it.
They've made... This is going to be the sixth Five Nights at Freddy game since 2014.
No.
I just don't care. Especially since they showed it at the last State of Play. All of these things.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things they showed at the last State of Play, and it's just like I don't care, man. And
they haven't really expanded on any of these. Like,
and like maybe I just had my expectations too high or whatever, but like it's just like, man, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we don't give a shit about you, and it's like, well, you should.
You should, because I'm not buying any of this shit.
I buy your products, huh?
Yeah. Moving on from that, Oddworld Soulstorm. They showed the same shit that they showed at the last three State of Plays. Nothing new, nothing exciting. The guy came out again going, I'm making Oddworld Soulstorm, and it's going to be this, and it's good, and it's brown, and it's gray, and it's ugly.
Okay, hold on now. Hold on.
Okay, I'm holding on.
We can shit on the State of Play, but you don't shit on my boy Lorne Landing like that, okay?
Well, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm a big fan of Oddworld. I had a stepbrother who had an Xbox when I was a young lad, and he had the Oddworld games. And dude, honestly, like those games are really good messages about why capitalism is bad. And like there's a big political undertone to those games, and it looks like it's definitely maintaining that in this new one. Like the story at Oddworld is always so fun, or not fun. It's always so grim and deep, with like a jokey sort of like, isn't this stupid sort of thing on top of it. I like the Oddworld games. But yeah, they've shown it too. Like we said earlier, though, like this is all shit we've seen before. You know, like it's like I don't need this. I don't know.
It's just beating a dead horse. They did give a release date on this. They probably gave a release date on it last year. It's April 6th. Yeah.
I'm excited for this game. It's just like
we've covered it.
Yeah, I didn't need to see it again. At least not at a State of Play. Like, just release another trailer for it, dude.
Yep. Just go on the YouTube and release it on PlayStation YouTube. And the next thing, this actually was some interesting shit. Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, launches in August. They showed a cinematic trailer for this last time, and now we saw snippets of gameplay, kind of like the same amount of gameplay that we saw for Solar Ash. I want to bring up a comparison for this game, and to me, it looks like Pikmin crossed with Dark Souls.
Yeah, and Pixar.
Okay, yeah, Pixar because of the animation and like the character design.
I'm super fucking curious about this game. Just like the fact that this is Ember Labs' first video game. Before this game, they were like an animation studio. And that's what they did. So like that's why it's so fucking pretty, because these are all just a bunch of animators that are like, I like video games, we should make one. And they are, and this game looks really fucking good. I feel like this game is gonna be like a sleeper hit. Like it's gonna come out and I feel like we're gonna be like, wow, this made like number 2 on the MPD numbers this month. Like, isn't that nuts?
Right.
Like I really do feel like this game is gonna be one of those games where it's gonna come out and everyone's gonna be like, this game's fucking amazing. It looks,
you know why?
It looks
you know
really
why that's
good.
gonna happen? Because it's $40 at launch.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
I think they could sell this game for $70 and I'd still buy it.
Yeah. Well, probably. Depends. It depends on how long it is and what's all included. Because if it's like a 3-hour game, then
yeah, it looks longer than that. It looks like more developed than that. But I don't know. You know, they haven't really said much. But just by the look of the game, it looks like it could be like a new classic. You know, in the making.
It could be. I'm excited for this one. This one actually.
Yeah.
Was some good news, some useful news.
I just hope
needy brain.
I hope like Activision or something doesn't like come and like swoop up this dev and ruin them, you know?
And ruin them, yeah. Just take their characters and put them in another game, and then just completely ruin them.
Or like Ubisoft hires them, and they're like, we bought Ember Labs, and they're going to be making the new Rabbids game. It's like, okay.
Oh god, all right. The Rabbids are gonna have so much more animation than you remember.
I like the Rabbids games.
They go way better now.
They were minions before minions were minions.
I know. They were the good minions. Now the minions are just minions. Anyway, the next one is Deathloop. They didn't show anything fucking new on this. They literally don't even. They just showed a little bit of gameplay that we've already seen of a guy teleporting to windows and then shooting people, and that's it.
I don't know, dude. That trailer got me hard as fuck. Like, I thought that was a really well edited trailer, and like the music, the like Deathloop song, and it really cemented like the theme of the game. Like, hey, this is like a 60s James Bond sort of like. They
got you, dude. They got you with the marketing.
They fucking got me, dude. It was fucking good. That was a good ass trailer.
It was super good. I love the James Bond feel. The music was perfect. The bullet going through the little animation. It's just a Deathloop behind it. It's like, man, this looks cool as hell.
Yeah.
We've already seen everything that's there. Yeah. It's like, cool. It's gonna have style. We already knew that. We already knew it's gonna have style. We already knew it's gonna play like Dishonored.
This is the kind of trailer This is the kind of trailer though that I expect at a state of play like this. I know we want more like gameplay, but I'm kind of okay with like the in between for the state of play, and then after the state of play, like they did. They released another trailer where they got a little bit more in depth. I like at the state of plays where it's like, here's a little like cutscene trailer, here's some gameplay, and boom, let's move on. Like I really like that at state of plays. And then if you want more in depth things, that's when they're like, okay, check out our YouTube channel for more in depth.
Extended stuff. Yeah.
I liked the trailer because. I hate it. I hate it when trailers are just cutscenes, but I thought this had like a nice mix of like, here's cutscene, here's a dude flashing to show you like this game really is like Dishonored. Like I feel like this really cemented that. I don't know. I thought it was a really great trailer.
It was a very good trailer, but it's nothing that we haven't seen before, and that's kind of the where I'm at. Yeah,
that is the thing. Like I was pretty hyped about this game anyway, but that trailer was awesome.
Yeah, it looks great, honestly. Yeah. And then the last thing that they showed off was fucking bizarre and just out of nowhere. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
Intergrade, yeah.
Not Integrade. Intergrade. Yeah. It's coming to PlayStation 5. It is an expansion pass.
Well, it's like a DLC.
It's a DLC. It's a continuation.
Yeah, it seems like a. It does make me curious. It makes me curious about the future, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like a DLC. I can't tell if it's after Final Fantasy VII Remake or if it's like during Final Fantasy VII Remake, because like we see like Final Fantasy VII characters like hanging out, and then these guys who you're going to be playing in this one are like, oh my god, those are the guys from Final Fantasy VII. Who are we? Well, we should stay away from those guys. We're not as important as those guys. And then they like get into trouble and stuff, and they showed gameplay, and it looks good. It looks good if you like Final Fantasy VII.
So from what I've heard, this character that they're introducing in this DLC is like the next character that you would meet in the original Final Fantasy, I guess. So I guess this is like their way of introducing her in a new way. Here, we'll put her in the DLC. And it makes me curious about the future of Final Fantasy VII. Like, are they going to make a part 2, or are they just going to keep adding chapters to this one until they complete the story?
I think they should do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it is strange because, like, I know this character. I know the character who it is because I played the original Final Fantasy VII.
I never played it, so.
But you never see anything that, like, this trailer showed off in the game until the very end, where she doesn't have, like, the cloak or whatever, and you're like, oh, I know who this person is. She's got, like, the green and the tan pants or whatever, and you're like, oh, right, that makes sense. But, like, all of the stuff that they showed off was not in the original Final Fantasy VII whatsoever. It's kind of like a stepping stone to get to that point. So it's very strange.
Yeah, because they said it's a new chapter, and from my experience with Final Fantasy, the new one, is each chapter is about 1 to 2 hours long.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. So
I imagine it's going to be about like a 2-hour DLC where you just like meet this character and you have some sort of fun shenanigans. And then maybe in the future we'll get like an expansion where it's like, here's like 10 more chapters to the final.
Right.
Because I was thinking like, and Final Fantasy is no stranger to like having weird naming conventions, but like, how do you name the next Final Fantasy VII Remake? Do you call it Final Fantasy VII Remake 2?
2, yeah. 2.
Well, because I know there is like Final Fantasy 14-2 or whatever, or Final Fantasy 13-2, and like.
But now you're just adding remake.
But now it's like Remake 2, or do you call it like Final Fantasy 7 R2, or just
Point 2, or
Final Fantasy Remake 2. I don't know. It gets confusing. So maybe if they're just like, here's just like 10 more chapters, this is part 2, we'll wrap up the fucking story and be done with this game forever.
If it's 10 chapters, they're not wrapping it up. I guarantee you that. It is much longer than that.
If they like really,
slam it out. Yeah, that's not. I don't think that's the way they're going. Considering this DLC, it looks like it's a setup for the next character that you meet.
Yeah, but that also cuts some time out, right? Because it's like we don't have to introduce this character
but it could also be completely cut out. It doesn't have to be there because it wasn't there in the original.
This whole game confuses me, and from my experience, it's a bad game anyway. So who gives a fuck?
You really loved it when you were first playing it.
You're like,
I love the melodrama. I love the characters. I love
the characters. I do, and I love the cutscenes, and I love all that shit. It's the combat, dude. The combat's so bad. It's so bad, man. I can't.
I like it better than turn-based because it's kind of turn-based.
No.
I wish
more of a turn-based guy.
I wish that they brought back. You probably didn't play this, but Final Fantasy 12 combat. It's kind of like this, but it's more of like a. I don't know if you played Wrath of the White Witch, Ni no Kuni. I don't know if you played that or seen that. It's like that. The way you set up your characters, you can move them, but it's like in a turn-based sort of arena. But you move them, and you can avoid certain attacks by moving your guy out of the way if you.
Yeah, I don't mind the gameplay of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and maybe I'll go back to it one day and be like, I was wrong. I just had a bad time with this one thing. But like, my biggest issue is the fact that like you do a spell and he has to do a fucking animation, and if he gets hit during the animation, it's just ruined, and you have to get like. Same with potions, same with revives, same with healing, and it's just fucking bullshit, dude. It's fucking bullshit. Oh, it frustrates me so much, but
I agree. When with that announcement of Intergrade, they showed off that the Final Fantasy VII has PlayStation 5 enhancements that look no fucking different than the PlayStation 4 shit.
Yeah.
Aside from, better lighting and different smoke effects. I won't even say better smoke effects, just different smoke effects.
It's so true. It's so true. The lighting is definitely better for sure. But like, yeah,
But
they were showing the like side by side. I was literally laughing in my chair because I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
It's
look the same.
The textures are so much better, and it's like shows that like gradual thing. This is the PS4, this is the PS5, and I'm like,
it's like, I guess it looks better, but like
they're the same thing. What? Huh? Yeah, it was like, and then they shut off the lighting, and I'm like, there we go. I can see reflections now. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. What a waste of time. And then they went over it again and showed it off again and went, this is the second time we're going to tell you this information. I was like, wow, what a big.
They added like a camera mode as well, which is cool.
Photo mode. It's called photo mode, Grandpa, not camera mode.
Sorry, I'm just getting excited for Pokemon Snap, you know.
I know, we're going right into that one.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's annoying because it's like, yeah, I was assuming there'd be a PS5 version, like, you know, like, or like Crash Bandicoot. It's like,
obviously,
yeah. There's a PS5. Okay, yeah, like, okay, is this big news? No, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah. Did it have to be here? No, it did not.
The DLC, I would argue, is big news, but I guarantee this is the only reason that State of Play existed is because Square Enix had some sort of deal with Sony. And they're like, oh, we have to do a State of Play because we have Final Fantasy. What else can we show? Well, God of War is not done. Horizon's not done. So we can't talk about these things. How about we'll throw in Kenna again. We'll talk about Crash Bandicoot.
We'll talk about Oddworld. We'll talk about... just take what we did last year and just throw it back. Just throw all that shit back in here and we'll add Final Fantasy to the end. Yeah. That's it. That's what we'll do. So that's a solid like 5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
It's a pretty shit.
I think a 5 is fair. Yeah. It was frustrating because it's just like, dude, I wouldn't be as frustrated if this was just like a regular like PS4, but it's like the PS5 came out recently and there's fucking nothing on it.
Mm-hmm. I fucking rushed home for that to watch. I'm like, dude, they're gonna announce something big.
We got
Final Fantasy DLC, and I'm like,
I would have settled with like a God of War or Horizon release date. That's all I need.
Not even released it. Just show me another trailer. God of War doesn't have any trailer.
That's true. Just show a trailer.
Teaser image.
Yeah, that's true.
Just show me Kratos going, boy. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's all they really needed to do. Or they could have just had Cory Barlog come on there and be like, "We're still working on this game." And that would have been fine.
I got nothing to tell you, boys, but it's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. They could have done the Zelda thing with God of War. It's like, I know what you're thinking. We got more Zelda. Well, we don't. Sorry.
Yeah. We don't yet. But
here's a trailer for Kenna. That's all I needed. That's all. I just needed Cory Barlog to soften the blow a little, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move on because we got a lot to do. The next thing, the next day, Pokemon, the Pokemon Company, I guess. I don't know who made this one, because we have Nintendo Direct, and I assume that's from Nintendo. And this one was called Pokemon Presents, and I assume that's from the Pokemon Company,
right?
Which is not affiliated with Nintendo anymore, or they just had so much Pokemon news, they're like, we can't just put this in a direct.
The thing is like the Pokemon Company is connected to Nintendo. It's just that the Pokemon Company has so much clout that Nintendo can't tell them what to do. They're like, we're Pokemon. Like, you don't tell us what to do. That's basically what it is. It's like, no, we're the Pokemon Company. You can suck our dick. We're as profitable as Nintendo proper without any support from Nintendo. You can suck our dick, Nintendo.
Yeah. So this one was interesting because I was not expecting anything from this. I'm like, oh, if they have big news,
either. But I was
put it in a fucking direct. You know,
I was actually pleasantly surprised with this one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Pokemon's 25th anniversary on Friday. I think it was Friday. And they kind of did like, to start off the show, they did like through the years sort of video.
I hated the voiceover, dude.
I hated the voiceover too, but the video was so cool where it's like, here's the Game Boy, and here's Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. And then it just kind of went through all of them, and it's like, here's Gold and Silver and Diamond and Pearl and the next one and the next one, and like, here's what we did for the past 25 years, and it was a really
Pokemon
cool
Jet.
Yeah.
Vehicle.
Really cool. Look back at the
Tablet.
Yeah. Anyway, they did that, and that lasted a little too long, but
yeah, it was. That took up almost the whole thing was about like 25 minutes. 20
minutes, yeah.
And that intro was like 8 minutes long.
Yeah, it was super fucking long.
Yeah, it was really
Is there
long,
a point to this? Are they going to do something real cool? No, that was just the intro. So then they showed off the new Pokemon Snap. And they showed off a new region called the Lentil region. New characters, new Pokemon to photograph.
How do you feel about Pokemon Snap?
I don't feel about Pokemon Snap. It's, you take pictures and you have an AI judge you on your pictures. I get how it could be relaxing to some people.
Yeah.
Or like it's just their jam because they just kind of want to unwind, and that's escape from reality, and they want to take pictures of Pokemon. Cool. Yeah, cool. It's not for me. It's not engaging enough for me.
Yeah, it doesn't really interest me much at all, but I can see why people like it. It's like Animal Crossing, I guess. It's just like sort of a relax. The game's not like Animal Crossing, but I mean, like, I feel like the love for it is the same, like, where it's just like this very relaxing sort of thing.
It's just every day you go and do your chores, you know.
Is it on rails like the original too?
It looks like it.
Huh.
They haven't said anything about it being not on rails, but it looks like it's on rails. Because that's kind of the point of Pokemon Snap. You know, you're on rails, and then you see a Pokemon, and you have to like interact with it within a time frame. Otherwise, you won't get the perfect shot or whatever. It's Pokemon Snap, and if you've ever seen Pokemon Snap, that's what it is. Let's get to the more exciting shit.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap is so boring, I think, but you know, whatever.
It's for somebody out there. Then they showed off Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, which you would think would be really cool. When I first
what do they call it? It's like Dazzling Diamond and
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
That's right.
So they.
Oh, we lost Nick. He's frozen. We lost him. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Do a little dance on here.
Hello,
there we
go.
You are. Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Here I am. Okay, so anyway, it's coming out late 2021, and it's made by the people who developed Pokemon Home.
Okay.
Pokemon Home. That is just a menu. I just want you to know that Pokemon Home is literally just a menu. It's not really a game whatsoever. So they showed off a trailer, and there's these cute chibi characters, but it doesn't look any better than the original. I was really excited.
I will push back on that a little, but yeah, go ahead.
I was really excited because I'm like, oh, I didn't get to play Diamond and Pearl because like I was just, there's something else, and I was a different age, or like I was getting older. I'm like, Pokemon's lame. But now that I'm like,
you owned it though. I remember.
I did own it. I don't remember buying it. I think I borrowed it, and I just never got through it. And I'm like, okay, cool. The new Pokemon's coming out. It's coming for the Switch. I'm gonna play it because I haven't beaten it. I probably got like my starter, and then I stopped. I haven't played it. I know this game's like really cool, and then I see all these like this gameplay for it, and it's like, oh, this is what it. Okay, this looks like it could run better on the DS. Like if they just up-res the DS version and put it on the Switch, I think it would have looked better. It just doesn't. It's not a remake, and I don't know why they call it a remake, because it's just a new art style on top of what's already there, and it's anyway. You were pushing back about something.
Yeah, I kind of disagree. I just think you don't realize how fucking bad Diamond looked. Because I don't think this game looks good either. I think it looks kind of ass, but like I just don't think you realize how fucking bad Diamond looked. Because I remember Diamond, dude, and that was like the first one to leap from like your more traditional like Pokemon looking one to like
two-dimensional
to like 3D sort of character models.
Right.
And I specifically remember that and being very off put by it at the time, and actually stopped playing Pokemon for a while. And when I came back at like, I think I came back for X and Y, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It actually looks pretty good. But Diamond and Pearl just look like ass. They look like ass. No, I'm not getting on Rocket League right now. Just to address chat real quick.
Who is this? Do we know who it is?
Yeah, I played Rocket League with this dude a few days ago or whatever.
Oh, okay. Nice.
We're kind of in the middle of a show here, guy. Yeah, I don't know. Diamond looks like ass. The new upgrade to it looks like ass. It's an ass game that's being remade into an ass remake. But I'm sure like there's a market out there for this ass game. So, you know, why not?
Well, I know that it's getting a lot of flack online, but also on the reverse of that, I know that there are people defending it, going, "I think the chibi style looks cute," and it's like, yeah, it looks cute, but they didn't do anything to like. It doesn't look. They didn't change. They didn't upgrade it to anything new. Like it's still old. It's still an old game that they just slapped a shitty coat of paint on. And went,
yeah, but for some people, that's enough. You know.
I guess.
And honestly, like I was pretty off put when they remade. What was it? Ruby and Sapphire, because I felt like they changed it too much.
Really?
Yeah. I felt like they changed it too much, and it was kind of off-putting. I would have like preferred a port of it, honestly. Because like
I like the completely rebranding of it, and I'm lost again. I'm lost somewhere around
I
here. You can probably still hear me.
I can still hear you.
I can't hear you, and you aren't moving on my side.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I figured you could. Moving on from that, we got Pokemon Legends, and this is the biggest news of the week. I will say, probably the biggest news of the week. This is also taking place in that same region as Diamond and Pearl, the Sinnoh region. Is Pokemon Legends Arceus? Arceus. That's how I'm going to say it. Arceus. I don't know. I'm not a crazy Pokemon nerd like some people, but I do enjoy it. And this game is what we've all been wanting. It's what everybody has been dreaming about since, Grand Theft Auto was a thing, and people old enough to play Grand Theft Auto and Pokemon were like, let's fuse the two. This looks like Breath of the Wild Pokemon, where you just get to go wherever you want and catch whatever you want. And it's third-person open world Zelda Breath of the Wild game. It looks really cool, and the starters are from different regions. Where are the starters? Right here. The 3 starters are Rowlet, which I think is from... I don't fucking know. It's the green owl. Then you got Cyndaquil, one of my personal favorites because it's from Gen 2. And then you got Oshawott, which I believe is from Diamond and Pearl. Could be wrong. But that's really fucking cool.
So do you think that's what it'll be? Like it'll be like the first like 4 gens? Well, I don't know what the owl is from. Because I was thinking, because like what this game is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry. I cut you off.
You cut me off, and then you just like cut yourself off.
Yeah, because I realized my thought process there was dumb. Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's going to be a whole lot of Pokemon from a whole lot of different eras, or generations. So that could please a whole bunch of people, but I probably could guarantee that they're not going to have all of the Pokemon from all of the generations because, that's not how animals work in real life. And anybody who thinks that you should have every single Pokemon on every single island, you're a fucking idiot.
It's a game, though.
It is a game, but there's a reason you don't have like Charmander in one region, or you don't have like Butterfree in one region, or you don't have Totodile in another.
But you
region.
could design the game differently, right? Where it's like this area is lava and rocks, and like that's what Pokemon does, right? Where it's like this,
right? But like, why does one region get all of the Pokemon, but Johto only has Gen 1? Like, it makes no fucking
because
sense.
That game came out 20 years ago. I
understand that, but if you're gonna keep it as like these are regions and there's certain Pokemon on these regions, like kangaroos are only in fucking Australia.
I hear you.
Kiwis, the birds, are only in New Zealand. Like, there's a reason for that.
But like there's a
reason. Bellsprout is only in the second generation area. Forget what it's called, but still.
But this game is different, though. This game seems to be a more open world, Breath of the Wild sort of like I could see everything being in this game. But
I could too.
But I wonder if, and this is what I was prefacing. I just wanted to I wanted you to describe the game a little and
I don't know if I can. They didn't really show a whole lot. Like
they even
showed
did
off like you creeping in grass and throwing Pokeballs without engaging in combat, which I thought was weird.
Well, they did do they did the sweeping shot, which looked just like the trailer from Zelda Breath of the Wild, which made everyone go, "This is Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon." Mm-hmm. But I was wondering, maybe it could be like the first 4 gens in this world. And then they'll make another one in the future, which is the next 4 gens or whatever. But I don't know. Who fucking knows?
I don't know either.
I'm excited for this game though. I'm
super excited for it. It's coming out early 2022.
Next year, yeah.
Is what they say. So it'll probably be Christmas 2022. Yeah, it looks really cool, and it's what we've all been wanting. And there's only one improvement that I would one Pokemon game better than this, in my opinion, and I've already stated it. It's like going through the generations with those specific Pokemons and just leveling those guys up throughout all of the regions and replaying all the Pokemon. But this is a close second for me. I'm all about Breath of the Wild Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm super into it. I wonder if it's gonna be like Breath of the Wild, but instead of the 4 divine beasts, which are like dungeons, you have 4 to 6 different gyms that you go to. But you could go 8. But it doesn't have to be 8. It could be whatever they feel like putting into this game.
I guess so.
And then those are you could go to them in any order you want. And then once you beat them all, you can go to the center, where Ganon was, and you can, and that's the Elite Four.
The Elite Four, and you do the Elite Four. That would be really cool.
I like that a lot. I think that is the move. That is the move. I think. Yeah. That's exactly what I want from a Pokemon game. I don't know if that's what we'll get. We'll see.
I don't know.
Let me have more than 4 moves for my Pokemon. How about that? Let me have fucking 32 different moves I can choose from with my Pokemon.
That's a lot. That's a big list.
You know what I mean? Just stop putting limits on it. Why does it even matter? Let me have Thunderbolt, Lightning Bolt, Growl, Tackle, Scratch. Let me have all of it, man.
It'd be cool if you could do loadouts. It'd be cool if you could do a loadout. Okay, I'm going to this gym battle. I need to put these abilities into my Pokemon, and then we're gonna go. Instead of you're locked to these 4, and you have to go to a moves trainer and then do that anyway. It's just make it so that I just have all of them, and I can slot them in whenever I want.
Or it's like this move is stronger because he's done it more, so like he knows how to do this move better.
Oh, like a true RPG sort of situation.
Like there's so many different ways you can do Pokemon, but they've been doing it the same for so many years. So I hope this is them like just trying some new shit. You know, like this isn't your typical Pokemon game. This isn't like Gen 9 or whatever we're on. This is like a new sort of thing. At least that's the impression I've gotten from it. So like I really hope that they do something different, and it's not just like it's the same game but open world, and like the combat's the exact same, everything's the exact same except it's open world now, which is I'd still take that. It's just, you know, I hope they do some different shit.
Yeah, I hope they stretch their legs a little bit. Let's move on to the news because we are running long. Here is the first piece of news. Anthem Next is ceasing development. This is from BioWare directly. They say, in the spirit of transparency and closure, we wanted to share that we've made it the difficult decision to stop our new development work on Anthem, aka Anthem Next. We will, however, continue to keep Anthem live services running as it exists today. And I put a little note in there. The comment kept going, and it seems to be COVID related is like the biggest factor for their reasoning of stopping this. It's a bummer because I own Anthem and I really wanted to see it get good, and it had so much potential, and they're just like, well, fuck it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fucked up. I think it's so fucked. That entire game is fucked, and this is the problem with fucking live services, dude. The next one this is gonna happen to is Avengers, without a doubt. Like the same thing's gonna happen to the Avengers. Game. And the fucked up thing about it, and why I say it's fucked up, and like, you know, I don't think anyone like lost their job over this. I think they probably just like move people around, so that's good. I'm happy no one lost their job, but like the fucked up thing is like, they promised that, oh, we'll get this next phase and then Act 2 and Act 3, and they blacked them out. You didn't even get to see what Act 2 and Act 3 were. And on top of that, they couldn't even work on the next DLC because when they released their game, it was so fucking buggy that instead of working on the next DLC that they promised, they had to fix the buggy-ass game that they released. So, like, they created this roadmap instead of completing a fucking game, promised a roadmap and a complete game, and gave you neither.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Anthem.
And then 2 years later, after months or after years of work from these developers, they're just like, okay, well, you guys can just stop doing all the work that you've been doing. We're just going to scrap it all.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. It's so frustrating, and like these live service games need to stop. They do. Yep. They just need to stop making them. And if they are going to make them, it needs to be like a Destiny situation where it's like, that was our plan from the beginning. Where I think with Anthem, it was like it's EA, right? EA went to BioWare and said, we want Destiny and we want to make all the money, and so make us all the money, please. Make us
Destiny again.
Where I think when Destiny, when they went into it, they were like, we have this idea for a game. We have an idea for how like we'll roll out the stuff. And like, I think they had like a vision there where it's like they had the service idea before the game with Anthem. You know what I mean?
Right. And then,
you know what I'm saying?
Evolved the serviced portion of the game. And they're just like, okay, well, we can change this. And it kind of works. Not for me. It works for other people. It works. Whereas like BioWare's like, we're going to do exactly what they're doing. Yeah. But because we don't know what we're doing, we're going to do it all wrong. Yeah. And nobody's going to... It's going to be so close and so similar that people aren't going to play it because they already have it.
Well, and the same thing is happening to Marvel right now, or the Avengers game, where it's like, I guarantee probably like the heads of Disney or Square Enix went to whoever the fuck is made that game, Crystal Dynamics, right? They went to Crystal Dynamics and they're like, we want a we want a live service where we can make all the money. We want all the money, and you can put Marvel on it. That's it. That's all you've got. Do that now.
That's it. Do it. Yeah. Do it.
Like,
make it empty, and then we'll fill it out later.
They're like, how do we even do that? Like, we're gonna have to spend more time on like fucking servers and shit than the actual game or whatever. Yeah,
we're gonna put out 40% of a game. That way, we when we release stuff, we can release stuff that we've already made.
Yeah,
we don't have to work as hard. Yeah, it's stupid.
I don't doubt that these developers are working their asses off. I guarantee they are. I have nothing against the developers. It's just like, it's the business practice of it that's like, you're releasing it's
greed.
You're releasing a beta as a full-priced game, and then expecting us to buy updates that may never come out.
Yep.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yep. Moving on. Gran Turismo 7 release date pushed back to 2022. In a statement, Sony said Gran Turismo 7 has been impacted by COVID-related production challenges. Who hasn't been? Which means its 2021 release date has been shifted to 2022. Bummer, but foreseeable. Another piece of big news.
Hold on. Let me mention Gran Turismo. Yeah. This one was interesting just because they asked Jim Ryan was in an interview with GQ, I think, and they're like, "Hey, Jim, what's going on with Gran Turismo?" And he's like, "I can't say anything." And then like the Sony PR department actually like reached out to GQ and was like, "Hey, it's been delayed." I just thought that was like such an interesting like thing that happened there. I don't know.
That is interesting. You should have put it in the fucking report, but that's okay.
Well, I just said it, so there you go.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, shitty, but understandable.
Yeah,
it is funny that Sony's just like, we delayed it, and Jim Ryan was, he could have said it, but he didn't because he was being nice.
He probably was like, I'm not really sure what's going on with Gran Turismo.
Yeah, he's like, I guess I'm not sure. Let's not say anything. Big piece of news here. Sony announces the next gen VR headset for the PlayStation 5. This comes from Tom Warren from The Verge. It goes, Sony is working on the next generation VR headset for the PS5. The headset won't launch this year, but Sony is announcing early plans to make it available on the PS5 at some point in the future. Sony's new VR headset will include an improved field of view, resolution, and even a single cord to make it easier to use. That's fucking cool.
One cord.
Know that.
Whoa.
One cord. The quote: "We're taking what we've learned since launching PSVR and PS4 to develop a next-gen VR system that enhances everything from resolution and field of view to tracking and input," says Hideki Nishino, Sony's head of PlayStation platform and planning. The quote continues, "It will connect to PlayStation 5 with a single cord to simplify setup and improve ease of use while enabling a high-fidelity visual experience." Sony is also working on a new VR controller, which will use some of the features found in the DualSense PS5 controller. The VR controller will also focus on improving ergonomics. Quote, "There's still a lot of development underway for our new VR systems, so it won't be launching 2021, says Nishino, but we wanted to provide this early update to our fans as the development community has started to work on creating new worlds for you to explore in VR. Sony will start issuing development kits for the next-gen VR headset soon, but the company isn't detailing the full specs or release dates just yet." Cool. There's new VR. It's got one cord. It's going to run better. Still probably going to give everybody motion sickness.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
I think that just kind of goes without saying with VR. But, it's like boats. Some people get sick on boats. Some people don't,
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that like Sony is like committed to this. I thought after like PSVR for the PS4, they would give up on it because I don't think it sold like incredibly well. But
it is the easiest, most accessible VR headset, I think. Don't quote me on that. I think it is the most accessible VR headset.
I think
right
so.
Now.
I think so, absolutely, because like you don't need like a high spec computer. You just need a PS4. And the same will be true with the PS5. I'm surprised that at this state of play, they didn't just say PSVR 2 and just put a little stinger at the end, you know?
No, because this came out a day before the state of play.
It's bizarre. It's like the planning departments and all of these things are like not working together. It's so weird.
They're all working against each other.
I did think it was cool that they were talking about how they're working on a new VR controller, which is basically them saying like, the PlayStation Move is dead.
The PlayStation 3 Move? Yeah, probably.
Which is good. And it sounds like they really want to integrate the DualSense with VR. Which makes me wonder if, like, while they were designing the DualSense, they had that in mind, so it'll be a little bit more compatible with the upcoming VR. And at what point do you think, like, obviously not this next one, but there's going to be a point where Sony sells their VR system completely separate from their consoles? At what point do you think that happens? Do you think it happens?
No. I don't think it happens.
You don't think it becomes like a new sort of Vita where it's like its own thing?
No. I think maybe to developers, but I don't think to the public. I don't think that I think if you're going to buy a PlayStation VR, you have to have a PlayStation. Be it PlayStation 6, PlayStation 5, whatever it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a separate thing. Like, you can buy the PlayStation or you can buy the PlayStation VR. You know, I don't think it's going to be like that.
Do you think there will ever come a time? I know this is a bit of a tangent, but do you think there will ever be a time where technology gets to a place where it's good enough, where it's literally just a headset? It's not connected to your computer. It's not connected to a PlayStation. Just boom, you're in VR.
Yes.
You think we ever get to that point? I think that is when VR starts popping off. Is when we just, that's it.
You know what though? We can't get to that point without all of these stepping stones that we're taking with the Oculus and the PlayStation.
And I think PlayStation 5 is well aware of it as well.
So like it's the stepping stone, and eventually, yes, we're gonna have like the whole set is just gonna sit on your head, and it's gonna be balanced, and it's gonna look good, and it won't strain your eyes as bad.
I mean, the fact that we can have these things,
right?
Just right there,
Yep. Yeah.
So PSVR, I don't really care about VR that much, but it's interesting.
I don't either. You know what really bums me out? It starts kind of close. The PS Vita. I wish they announced the second one.
Yeah, I prefer a Vita over a VR as well.
Yeah, give me a Vita 2.
I could just stick the new Vita inside a cardboard box, like you do with the Switch, with like that Switch VR thing.
Yeah, why not?
I'm way more interested in AR. I think AR is cool as fuck.
That's the way to do it. You get like gloves and shit that have like the little rings on it, and then you can rotate shit.
I saw this guy. He has like his own network in his house, and like he's like, the way I look at because he's got like a million different like Ethernet cables plugged in. He's like, the way I can tell them apart really easily, it's like I just have AR and I can see all of the different ports, and I'm able to tell which port is which with AR.
Oh, that's cool.
It's fucking cool, dude. Like, that's the future. That is the future.
That's really cool. That's some fucking Iron Man shit.
Right?
Let's move on. This one's kind of sad. Sony is winding down original game development at its oldest first-party developer, Japan Studio Tier. Multiple sources have told VGC, Video Game Chronicle, Andy Robinson and Alex Calvin. And the report goes, the iconic developer behind Ape Escape, Gravity Rush, ACK, has seen a vast majority of its development staff let go, the sources said, after their annual contracts were not renewed ahead of the company's next business year, which begins April 1st. So Sony Interactive Entertainment has sent VGC a statement confirming that what remains of Japan Studio will be absorbed into Team Asobi. Asobi?
I think it's Asobi. Yeah,
Asobi,
I think it's Asobi.
As per our report. It also stated that external development and other divisions will be relocated within PlayStation Business on April 1st, a spokesperson said, quote, in an effort to further strengthen business operation, SIE can confirm PlayStation Studios Japan Studio will be reorganized into a new organization on April 1st. Japan Studio will be recentered to Team Asobi, the creative team behind Astro's Playroom, allowing the team to focus on single vision and build on popularity of Astro's Playroom. In addition, the roles of external production, software localization, and IP management of Japan Studios titles will be concentrated within the global functions of PlayStation Studios. So they are getting rid of the people that made Ape Escape, Gravity Rush, and Knack, and dispersing them into other studios.
Well, it just
mostly into Asobi.
What it sounds like to me is they are turning Japan Studio into Asobi, or they're turning Asobi into Japan Studio, and they're just going to work on Astro's Playroom. Like, that's their new thing, which is fine. It's fine with me, honestly. And real quick, sorry, but like, I think the more interesting question is they never said they're outright closing Japan Studio, right? Because the thing with Japan Studio is they don't just make their own games. Like, over I think the past 10 years, the only 2 games they've made were Knack and Knack 2. But like, on top of that, they are known for working on everything. Like, everything that Sony makes, it passes through Japan Studios at a certain point to get that fucking the PlayStation shine, right. They just have a team over there at Japan Studio that takes games and they're like, here's that PlayStation shine for you. So it makes me think that they're keeping that team that does the PlayStation shine, and that's what Japan Studio is going to continue to be. And then everyone who worked on Knack and Knack 2 and Gravity Rush, all those dudes are moving to Asobi, and they're just gonna. And it also makes me believe that the next Astros game is gonna be a much bigger, more flushed out game.
It'll be a full release game because it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
You haven't played it, but it's.
I played it a little bit when I went to my friend's house, but yeah, I think they're wow, we're sleeping on this IP here. And we should really flush it out. That's what I think. It's sad because Japan Studio is this legendary company, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do
when your last 2 games are Knack and Knack 2? It's kind of yeah.
Well, I'll tell you.
And then before that, Gravity Rush 2, which wasn't a huge success either.
I fucking love that game. If you haven't played Gravity Rush 2,
I like it too. I never beat it.
So good.
I played a little bit of it, but I love the first Gravity Rush. But
that one was good too.
Gravity Rush 2 just didn't do that well.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because Gravity Rush was on the Vita.
Yeah, but Gravity Rush 2 was not.
It was not.
No, it was not.
No, it was not. But
it was not.
The first Gravity Rush was strictly Vita, and then it moved to consoles after that. So I think people who initially played it were wow, this is really good. And those are the people that bought Gravity Rush 2, and the people who
didn't were I don't want to play this fucking Vita game. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a portable game. No, it's a full fucking game, and it's really fucking good. Yeah. Jason Schreier on Twitter said that Dragon Age is going to be a single-player RPG. Quote, time for some news that is going to make BioWare fans really happy. Following the success of Jedi Fallen Order and the failure of Anthem, wow, ouch, EA has allowed BioWare to make the next Dragon Age a single-player RPG. Previously, it was planned as a service game. Good. Jason adds, by the way, I should elaborate on one thing. Although some people within BioWare have been pushing for this, as the story says, there are also people at BioWare who very much wanted DA4 to be a multiplayer service game. Reality is never as simple as EA wants X, BioWare wants Y. All of those people who want this to be a service game can go fuck themselves.
Come on.
No, we were just talking about this earlier. Every single person who's like, oh, Dragon Age could be a really good service game.
I don't think like
service game. They should just kill themselves.
Well, okay. Calm down. I think like the people at BioWare who are like, I want this to be, I don't think they probably said a service game. They probably said a multiplayer
game. Okay, fine.
Where they're like, well, and like it has service elements because every fucking multiplayer game does now. But like, I'm sure they're like, oh yeah, Dragon Age would be really fucking cool as a multiplayer game, way better than Anthem. Let's do that. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that it was ever in talks to be a service game. Dragon Age is a single player RPG, always has been, always should be. Why change it?
Why change it? People fucking love Dragon Age. Don't fucking change it.
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, it is nice to see that EA is like, oh, people actually do like single player games with Jedi Fallen Order. They're like, oh shit, we've been fucking up. There were that
game wasn't even that good. People just liked it because it's like
like the only single player game. Yeah,
EA made a single player game. Good job, EA.
And I think they took notice to that because they're like, this is a shit game, and people played it even though it's bad. Yeah. And that was not the case with Anthem, where it was like that kind of played okay, but people just didn't want that multiplayer shit. People have their service games, I think people do like service games, but I think people have their service game. Like, I have The Division. I have Destiny. I have Marvel's Avengers. Like, I have my game already. I don't need another one.
Yeah, like, unless you're going to change the whole structure of it, I think you need to not do that anymore or, make it better. You're not going to make it better because the ones that are out there have tested it and they know what's going on and they know all of the shit already. Agree. You can't make a better one in the amount of time it takes to make a game. You're just not going to. Okay, next. Last story. Yay, we've reached the end. Twisted Metal series from Deadpool. What? This is worded weird. Twisted Metal series from Deadpool writers in the works. That's how it says at Sony Pictures TV PlayStation Productions. That's a lot of words. The people that made Deadpool, the writers that worked on Deadpool, are making a Twisted Metal series, is how that translates. Cool. Michael Jonathan Smith, who most recently wrote and produced Cobra Kai. Oh, they had to put Deadpool because Cobra Kai is not popular enough. Will write. No, and
just keep reading the fucking.
Produce. Okay. Well, I like to put my flair in there. Anyway, Michael Jonathan Smith, who wrote and produced Cobra Kai, will write and executive produce the series Twisted Metal. Reese and Winnick, Deadpool and Zombieland writers, were attached to the to executive produce. Will Arnett will executive produce via his Electric Avenue production company, along with Mark Foreman and Peter Principato of Artists First. Arnett is currently under a first look deal at Sony Pictures Television. Quizzlebash and Carter Swan of PlayStation Productions will also executive produce, as will Herman Lutz. And it doesn't matter. They're just a whole bunch of people. And one of whose name is Quizzlebash. What? That's a great fucking name. There has been speculation that
Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios. That's important, I think.
Cool. Okay, yeah, you got it. There's been speculation that Arnett will voice Sweet Tooth in a cameo, but according to an individual with knowledge of the project, no deal is currently in place for him to do so. That was a lot of fucking names from a lot of different areas. There's going to be a Twisted Metal series for now. It's not canceled.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the names are important, just in the fact that you've got the dude who made Cobra Kai, which is like a huge hit show. You've got the writers from Deadpool and Zombieland, which are like hilarious people.
Mhm.
And you've got Will Arnett, who, you know, we all love Will Arnett. Bojack himself. Lego Batman. He's fantastic. And then you've got like the dudes from PlayStation, so it'll have like that connection to gamers as well. Like I think this is like an all-star production cast. Like we don't have the cast to the show, but like this is an all-star like behind the scenes cast right here.
Yeah, these are all-star producers.
If they could get Arnett to do the voice of Sweet Tooth, that'd be pretty fucking awesome. But
I don't understand how that would work. He would have to be some sort of quirky killer. Like, and that I don't think Will Arnett's voice would work with. I
think he could do it.
A Sweet Tooth.
He did. Remember in Blades of Glory?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he could do something like that. I think he.
That was so goofy though. Like that.
Yeah, I think Sweet Tooth can be goofy.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the point, but also he's like creepy, but also
yeah, I think he could pull it off. But if it's just like as a cameo, no, just get someone else to do Sweet Tooth, because I don't think Sweet Tooth should just be a cameo in your fucking show. I like that. Yeah, I like that it's a bunch of like comedic actors, and it's not like let's make an action movie for the action boys. They're like
Rob Zombie is directing. You're like,
actually cool. That'd be kind of cool because he did Dracula.
He's a big part of the game. Anyway, yeah. It'd be cool if he did the soundtrack and shit.
I'm actually surprised that he's not like a producer on this at all. But
he's got dementia. So
what?
I have no idea. He's like 700 years old now.
What? He's like 40.
He's in the First World War, dude.
Let's look this up. How old is Rob Lowe? No, Zombie. 56. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. He's from the Civil War. But there's somebody whose name is just Quizzlebash.
I think that dude, those two dudes were the guys who like created Twisted Metal.
Quizzlebash and Carter Swan.
Quizzlebash, yeah. Let's see. Turkish redhead. Huh. I don't know. It's a Turkish name. So there you go.
Twisted. I like it. I actually like it. Call me Quizzlebash from now on, Jake. Okay.
Assad Quizzlebash. Head of product, PlayStation Studios, and head of PlayStation Productions.
That's a great last name, dude.
Okay, so he's just like a head at PlayStation, I guess. That's cool.
Okay, well, and that's the news. We won't go into it because we're running way late on time.
Whatever.
I gotta eat. I got shit to do, but who cares? Who fucking cares? Oh, what to look forward to next week? Jake's gonna be hosting next week, so look forward to that. Right off the bat. Also, Sony is giving away Ratchet and Clank, the reboot, to PS4 and PS5 owners this very month. We're all getting it. Mm-hmm. We're all getting it for free. Speaking of free, the free games on PlayStation are going to be Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation 4, Remnant from the Ashes on the PlayStation 4 as well, and Marquette, which is a new game that I haven't heard of. It's like a puzzle game, all based around like, it's hard to explain sizing. Like you have to get sizing right, and there's a little tiny world, and you take this key and you put the regular size key on this tiny world, and then you like walk outside, and it's in your world.
It's sort of like Subliminal.
Yeah, almost, but not as spatial. It's like there's a map that you're interacting with, but you're in the map, and then it's like a size. Like if you jump out of the map, you get real big, and then you can interact by putting big things into the small map or taking small things out of the small map into the big map. It's real weird. You got to look it up. Marquette.
Take the big map, you take the small map, the big one.
Take the big one and the small one, and then you do you know.
I don't know what you just said to me, but anyway.
Put it and you shake it all about. And then we're also getting Farpoint, which is a PlayStation VR game, but I guess you don't have to use PlayStation VR for it. So that's cool. And Destruction All Stars will remain free until April, and after that it'll be $20. So they dropped the price from 70 to 20 because that game was not doing too well.
Oh wow, that's kind of sad.
Yeah. And that's it. That's everything we're looking forward to. Recent reviews, we got one thing came out, Bravely Default 2. It got a 79 out of 52 critic reviews. So it's doing all right. It's almost an 80. It's almost good. Jacob, do you have a question for these lovely people?
Yeah. What would you guys like? When do you guys think we'll get like the next big state of play? That's my question. And not even like state of play, like, you know, just video game news. Like, when do you think we're gonna get that dump? You know, that fucking
like
that
the Metro
dump
Prime, like the Metro Prime Breath of the Wilds 2.
That was
Nintendo
that
Direct.
was another big piece of news that we didn't even cover on the show. Is that E3 Live got canceled this year?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing that happened. Maybe we'll talk about that next week.
Also, next week, apparently Elden Ring is going to have a trailer releasing, so we're going to be talking about that next week too. Probably. There's leaks online. I saw like 30 seconds of a trailer, so it's possible that we'd be talking about Elden Ring. Like, nobody's heard of Elden Ring since it went, oh, there's a game called Elden Ring. You know?
That's true.
Yeah. What's the next important video game direct is the question.
It's that dump trunk of news.
Dump trunk? So
Dump
we're gonna
trunk.
dump the trunk. All right, and then you gotta keep in touch with us. We got other Loner Gamecast shows. We got the Jake and Corey podcast. Sometimes Corey doesn't show up, and the podcast gets canceled. Like, what the fuck? But also, we got like Jake does some shit with movies all the time.
I just recorded my Tom and Jerry review. Look out for that.
Damn, look out for that. Also, I know he's got something going on with a friend to talk about WandaVision coming up after WandaVision is complete and done.
WandaVision, yeah.
We got other shit on the channel. Follow us on Twitter. Jake is at emergencypizza_. I am at fatal_microwave on Twitter. And follow Jake on Twitch. Twitch.tv/lonercast. Finger guns. Pew, 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 pew. That's our show. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and just be good. Be good to each other.
Yeah. Be better.
Don't hate.
Better.
Only love. Zen. Okay, bye.